Okay, so let's take a scenario. Let's say I was back in university and I was studying back in my second year, and me currently being here, I had the opportunity to go speak to that Sifiso back there. What things would I tell him? What would I enlighten him? What information would I give him about university? Well, this is basically the 10 things that I wish I was told while I was still back in university. First and foremost, things don't get easier as we go along. We just get tougher. I think this is something that a lot of you guys have already seen for yourselves. First year you get there, it's so difficult, it's insanely tough. But then you get to second year, it's even harder. Third year, it's rough, and it just gets harder as you go along. So wherever you are in your journey, whether you're still in your first year, whether you're in your second year, your third year, honors, wherever you are, know that things always get harder. That is very important. They do not get any easier, but the work ends up being a bit more bearable just because we end up sort of building very strong coping mechanisms, and we end up adjusting to the university environment, to the pressure, to the consistent and constant testing, and every single thing that we find in university. It's a very difficult environment, but we truly acclimatize and we really adapt, as humans do, of course, and things get more bearable, but the work gets more difficult and workload a lot more. So that's my first one. Number 2, don't forget why you're in university in the first place. I think it's so easy to lose track of why you're actually in varsity. At the end of the day, we are there to get our degrees, but there's so many distractions, so many things that come in our road, in our path, in our journey, that that sort of have us lose a bit of focus, and that's completely normal. That's completely fine. But it's so important for you to never forget the sole reason why you're in university, and always remember that university is just one phase of your life. There are so many different other phases that you still have to go through, and university is just one. University is not life in its entirety. So know that you're in a part of a phase, and you're in this phase to get your degree ultimately, and of course to grow, develop, become a better person, and all that stuff. The third thing that I wish someone would have told me is focus on making yourself as employable as possible. I think this is so important because at the end of the day, after you're done with your degree, you're done studying, all that stuff, you're gonna apply for jobs. You're gonna try get employment, meaningful employment, something that you'll enjoy and that'll help you grow. But to do that, you actually have to be employable. You have to be someone whose CV is chosen over other people's CVs. And a degree is not a differentiator. A degree is not something that sets you apart necessarily, because the people that you apply with also probably have degrees. So you have to find ways to upskill yourself, whether it's through short courses or the different things that universities offer, and also try gather some work experience while you're in university, whether it's through university affiliated jobs, tutoring, whatever it is. You have to make yourself as employable as possible so that when you leave and apply, you get a job. Number 4, and I think is very underrated, but focus on becoming a better person. I think this is so important. Focus on actually being better, on growing in the journey, because one thing that I found in university is you go through so much growth. Whether it's intentional or unintentional, there is so much growth that you go through within university. Now, if you intentionally look to grow yourself and be better, be more holistic, be a better version of yourself on a daily basis, weekly, monthly basis, if you're intentional with this action, then you're gonna go way further. And this is something that I really wish someone would have told me, in that just be intentional with your growth and actually look to find opportunities to grow and to be better. Number 5, we reached the halfway point. University has an insane amount of opportunities, an insane amount of things that you can do, that you can immerse yourself in, that you can get involved with, whether it's leadership within your faculty house or the residence, or whether it's just day activities at the university. There's so much, different societies, different clubs. There really is a lot, even sports as well, different programs you can get involved with. University offers a wide array of different opportunities, and these also help in building up your CV and making yourself even more employable as well, and also just helping you grow as well. I think a lot of my points end up tying back to each other, but really, guys, in as much as you're there to get a degree, you're there to get, great education, but you're also there to grow and make use of those opportunities. You will not regret it. But never forget why you're there in the first place. Never forget to prioritize your studies, prioritize your degree above everything else. Cool. Number 6. This one is quite important as well. Is don't be too hard on yourself. I think things are definitely going to get very difficult, because they're going to get very challenging. You're going to find yourself in positions where you thought you'd never be. Getting marks you thought you'd never get in your life, failing a module or two, failing a test or two, what have you. Whatever happens, please, guys. And this is something that I deeply wish someone told me, because I'm a very self-critical person. It's just a part of my nature. It does have its benefits, but it's also a bit unhealthy as well, something that I have been working on. But don't criticize yourself too much. Don't be too hard on yourself. Understand that you are human. You are allowed to make mistakes. You are allowed to have ups and you're allowed to have downs. So be your best friend. Don't be your worst enemy. Don't criticize yourself to the point of great self-doubt and getting yourself really down in a big deep pit of despair. You should be the one to elevate yourself and pull yourself up. Number 7, I think, is one that a lot of people do need to hear, and I think is not emphasized enough here in university. But every single person's journey is unique. Everyone's journey is unique. Very important. Just because the degree is structured how it is doesn't mean you'll progress the same as those around you. This is not high school. Very different ball game. I have touched on this before in a previous episode of mine. You want to check that out, feel free. But know that everyone's journey is unique. You're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to falter. But as long as you stay with the journey, as long as you remain consistent, you show up and you keep trying and you keep that end goal in mind of getting your degree, getting your qualification. Very important. Number 8, something that I've said quite a bit in the WhatsApp community. Those of you who've been with me, you guys will know this. But focus on what you can control. Focus on what you can control. There are so many different factors out there that we as students simply cannot control. There is nothing we can do. Whether it's the results we get, whether it's what happens in our relationships, there's so many things that are sometimes out of our control. But once you start neglecting and focusing less on those things you can't control and start focusing on what you can control, whether it's the input you put in or what you do to build relationships, stuff like that. Once you start focusing on that, you start to live a more stress-free life, and you actually increase what I call your circle of influence, the things that you are able to control. So focus on what you can control. When things get tough, when things get stressful, when things get challenging, just take a step back and ask yourself, what can I control? What can I not control? And what am I focusing on? If I'm focusing on what I can't control, I need to shift that focus onto what I can control. I think I've shared a lot of pivotal tips here, really important things that you guys getting on your journey this early, I think is going to help you out a lot. But I think this last one, and I've left it for last specifically because I think it's so important. I can't say it's the most important thing, but I think it's really important. I wanted to leave you guys with this today. But my last one for you guys today is, as far as possible, and I know it's difficult, I know it's tough, as far as possible, enjoy the journey. Enjoy every single step from the beginning to the very end. Be aware of what's happening. Be within your journey. Obviously have those goals. Focus on passing. Be ambitious, but also be present. Because as I said earlier, university is a phase of your life. And once that phase is done, you move on to the next phase. And there are such fond memories, I think, that we end up having of university when we're no longer there, that it's so important that you cherish the small things, the small moments. Yes, there will be stress. I'm not saying cherish the stress. No one likes stress. But just cherish those small moments you have in university. Find a way to enjoy the process. Take some time to just look around yourself. As they say metaphorically, smell the roses, look at the flowers, do all that stuff. Enjoy the journey. Really be present. And I think this will give you a different outlook on life as a whole within varsity. So yeah, guys, I think this really, all these things that I've told you guys is stuff that I would tell myself if I was back in university. So really take each and every single one of these things that I told you, hold them to heart. And after this episode, just get out there with a different perspective, with a different view on life, on university, on your studies, and make the most of every single day. Do what you can to really be in the moment and take charge of your own learning and your own destiny. So yeah, guys, as always, I really hope this has been of value of you. If you've enjoyed, guys, please do leave a like on this video. There's another video that you guys can check out here, and I saw quite a few of you have been commenting on these videos, which I'm very, very happy about. Please continue commenting, and until the next one, guys, let's continue on our journey in creating a better world.